Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today I'm going to talk about United Wings, a deck that I've been looking forward to. You know, if you were a fan of Mad Party, this is the new version of it, although it has one less Pokemon to put in the discard pile, so it's a bit concerning, but we'll see what we can get out of the deck. So this United Wings Murkrow is one of the three Pokemon with United Wings attack. This one is for 1 Dark Energy, and the attack does 20 damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile that has the United Wings attack. So each United Wings attack is the same. We have 4 Murkrow Dark type. We have 4 Wattrel, which is Lightning type. This one takes 2 energy, so we're usually paying for it with a DTE, so it reduces the damage by 20. And then for Flamigo, each of these is a basic, so we can potentially attack with it again. This one has a higher HP, which is important, so we can't get it with Level Ball. It's 10 HP, so a little harder to get. But it has this tremendous ability, Instaflock. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 3 Flamingo, so that is great. Let me get a little bit of sound in the background. I meant to start this beforehand. Do it on the fly. You can see the process there revealed. Wow, exciting. So Flamingo, so you play it down, you get 3 more in hand, and then we do play Squawkabilly. Squawkabillies, ideally you do this turn 1, and then you, boom, research them away or get rid of them with Squawkabilly or something. So it is a nice way to speed up getting these United Wings cards in the discard pile. And the attack cost for this one is also 2 colorless, so again, often a DTE. It does have a little more HP, so you might avoid being knocked out by some things. But at 110, I'd much rather it be 120, right? Because Cramorant one-shots it, so that's not ideal. As I said, it also plays a Squawkabilly. I just put 1 in this deck. Some play 2 just to make sure you get it, but most of the time it won't be prized. So and you're getting it with Nest Ball most of the time. So it's in here for the Squawk and Seize ability. It's a EX, basic EX, so 2 prizes it gives up. Once during your first turn, only first turn, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards. You can't use more than 1 Squawk and Seize ability during your turn. Okay, so discard your hand and draw 6 cards. Quite nice, much similar to the Dene GX, but this is only on the first turn. It's not when you play from hand. It can be any time during your turn when it's on the bench, which makes sense because Nest Ball is a major Pokemon search card. With Nest Ball, you couldn't use a card like the Dene GX with an on-play ability. So it makes sense we play 1 of because we can only use it turn 1. Then we have a 2/2 Kirlia engine. Some decks play 3/3. I just shaved some deck space. I think I can get by with the 2/2. This is the more common way to play it. And I've included 1 Gallade. That evolves from Kirlia. So Kirlia, you should be familiar with it, but refinement ability. Discard a card from hand, draw 2 cards, so an engine, and of course, discarding the United Wings Pokemon. And then Gallade has the Buddy Catch ability that can be quite nice once during your turn. You may search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So can search for any one supporter. You want to keep the Kirlias there early on as you get cards in the discard pile, but late as the game goes on, having the access to 1 supporter per turn is quite nice. So I like having the Gallade in the deck as an option, although you kind of don't need it till the game gets later. Hopefully, you know, as a single prize deck, we're not doing huge damage, so hopefully the game takes some time. Otherwise, we're in trouble if a deck is wiping us out too quickly. And then 1 Manaphy, because we have these bench Pokemon, most of which are low HP. You know, Radiant Greninja can take 2 prizes pretty consistently and really cripple us. So Manaphy to protect the bench. Energy count for DTE, because several of the 2 of the 3 United Wings are 2 colorless, so DTE makes sense there. And then 5 Dark Energy because of the Murkrow is a Dark Energy. Oh, and I skipped here in the Pokemon a Ditto, right? Ditto, a sudden transformation ability, can use the attacks of any basic Pokemon in your discard pile without a rule box, and you still need the energy, so we can attach the Dark or the DTE and attack with it. So useful there for sure. So getting in the trainers that I put in the deck for Ultra Ball, want to search out Pokemon and of course get cards in the discard pile. 1 Raihan, I like this. Obviously, you know, once a Pokemon's knocked out on your previous turn, you may attach a basic energy from the discard to one of your Pokemon and search your deck for another card. So nice way to power things up the next turn and search for a card. You know, you're going to take some knockouts along the way. We play basic energy. Raihan just makes a lot of sense to me. 2 switch cards. And we don't play rope in this deck. I was just looking. I didn't think I've included a Thorton in this list, which isn't always included, but I like it as an option. You choose a basic Pokemon from your discard pile and switch it with one of your basic Pokemon in play. Any attached damage counters, special conditions, turns in play, and other effects remain on the new Pokemon. So it's a way to get that Squawkabilly EX out of play for one thing, right? Because we don't want it sitting around as a target. We could use the attack, but we don't generally want to do that. So we want to get that out of play. Or you can get one of your United Wings Pokemon out of play as long as you have a Ditto in the discard. Replace it with a Ditto, and now we've just increased our damage output by 20. Or if we need to hit for Dark or Lightning weakness, we can make the switch there to the appropriate Pokemon. So I like Thorton as an option in the deck. I am making use of it occasionally, but often enough that I do like it. And again, don't forget, we have the Gallade, so we can search for some of these one-of supporters. I've included a number of one-of supporters in the deck, in large part because the Gallade is in the list. Without the Gallade, I'd be more suspect about playing a card like a one-of like Thorton. 2 Rescue Carrier, put 2 Pokemon 90 HP or less from the discard pile into your hand. We have a lot of low HP Pokemon, so getting those back is useful. 1 Zinnia is resolve, discard 2 cards from hand, and draw for each Pokemon your opponent has in play. So getting rid of 2 United Wings Pokemon is good, and often big benches lead to big draws. 4 level balls, just searching for those Pokemon. 2 Hisuian heavy balls, right? We want to get all these United Wings out of the prizes, right, to maximize our damage. So I think 2 is useful in this deck instead of 1. It also increases the odds of hitting it on turn 1 if Squawkabilly is prize 2. 1 Iono helps us come back, right? Each player shuffles their hand into the bottom puts it on the bottom of their deck, then draws a card per prize card remaining. Certainly we'll find ourselves behind in some games. Iono, again, we have access to it with Gallade. I like that. 4 Research, because that's just the best card for setting up and getting things going. 1 Klara, you choose one or both of the following. Put 2 Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. Put 2 basic energies from your discard pile into your hand. So a useful card, getting some things back, right? As particularly like if we want to be attacking with Dittos, we lose those, we want to get those back, or whatever card, a Kirlia, a Ralts, we can get that. Even the Gallade, if we had to discard that early, which I've had to do with a Research or a Squawkabilly, that's pretty common, then boom, we can get that back late game with the Klara. 1 Pal Pad, since we have these, especially these one-up supporters, getting the right ones back helps. 1 Nest Ball, more could be useful, but that's all that there was deck space for. 1 Serena gives you the option of switching your opponent's bench V Pokemon with their active, so a boss for Vs only, or you can discard 3 cards from hand and draw till you have 5 cards. So another way to get rid of some United Wings and draw also, so I like that. And again, one of, because we have Gallade 2 Boss's Orders, a terrific card. And then for a Stadium, I've played Collapsed Stadium, can help get rid of a Squawkabilly or some other Pokemon, or a United Wings Pokemon in the discard pile also helps, right, to increase the damage, and sometimes your opponents will have difficulty with that. So I like Collapsed Stadium in the deck. There's some different Stadium options. I've switched it up a little bit, but I think Collapsed Stadium gives me the most consistent gameplay. So let's jump in and see how the deck performs. If you played Mad Party, you have an idea of how this deck works. All right, so let's see what happens with the coin toss. All right, so heads, I will choose to go first. I have the Kirlias to evolve, so going first helps there. With Squawkabilly, I should set up pretty good going first. Well, that's not... Okay, I'm going to play Ralts down. This is a bad start. I need to hit something with a mulligan. So, water, so probably a Chen Pal, right? I'm trying to... The water one with the... with the energy acceleration. I imagine we have there. What's it? Basculin is it, I believe, the stage 2. So the rare candy. Frigibax is the basic. Stage 2 lets you accelerate as many basic waters from your hand to your Pokemon as you want. So a dangerous deck, but it's not really a bench hitting deck, although they may play Radiant Greninja, in which case Manaphy will be coming big for me there. At least hopefully it does, right? So let's see what happens. Again, I didn't really... Ralts is okay to start. I'm glad I didn't have to start the Flamigo, because again, I'll play that down, draw 3 cards. My opponent's being a bit slow. Hopefully things pick up pace. With the researches, I might have wanted to research turn 1, but I mean, if I went second, right, that's the risk. Maybe I should have gone. Wow, it's a lot of supporters, which I can't use my first turn. Yeah, so there's the Frigibacks. Yeah, I want to get these into hand. This is not a good start, but we'll see what my opponent does. Obviously, thinning the deck. I will research this away next turn if this hand stays. Don't want to bench Manaphy. I'm thinking about that. I'm going to bench Manaphy. It's got certain an end there. Right? I don't want to bench the Flamingos because I want to discard those. See what my opponent does. I couldn't attach energy. I play the 2 switch cards in the deck. So yeah, so Radiant Greninja. So Manaphy's the right play for sure. I figured they would. Battle via P-Pass, so a nice start for them. Most of the time I'm able to get my Squawkabilly EX into play turn 1. Obviously failed that this turn, and that's a bit of a problem. Oh, Suicune V, alright, I haven't seen a ton of that. So it's a nice card, and that makes sense in this deck. It does very solid damage. It is lightning weak, so nice having a multi-prize lightning target. Right, the Chen Pao, sorry, has a metal weakness which I can't hit for, but hitting the Suicune V for weakness is nice. So I just need to research. I'm losing all these supporters. Okay, that pretty much stinks. All right, what do I want to do? I want to hit with him. Actually, what do I want to do here? Kirlia. Let me use Kirlia. Right now I have 3, right? The 3 Pokemon for damage. So Kirlia. They're all double. I kind of like keeping the research, but I'm going to need this. I'm going to get rid of a Murkrow, therefore I can attack with it with Ditto. I have the pieces to attack now. Once I get the Murkrow in the discard, I'll play the Ditto, and I have Switch and Energy, which are the cards that were necessary for that. Let me Nest Ball something into play. Okay, I will attack with Murkrow. That's better for me. Play this down. Play down the Ditto, so he's ready for my turn. And 100 damage, not great, but I can knock. I have a decent chance of knocking out the Chen Pao next turn. Although, they're probably going to switch. Right? They still have their Forest Seal Stone. They haven't played, so they'll probably retreat. Probably just attack with Suicune, I would think. So they have 1 Baxcalibur in play. They grabbed it. Okay, they're getting 2 in play to keep, so they're protected there from my bossing up the Baxcalibur. That's gives them that security there. I understand that. We'll see what they play. Okay, down another Chen Pao, which I guess is what they got with the Forest Seal Stone. Obviously don't know that. They could be trying to trick me up there. But usually you play the card you drew right after it. So they're going to retreat. I assume, they have a switch card. Okay. Oh, okay, I thought they set up Radiant Greninja. But no, okay, so... I did 100 damage last turn. I'll see what I top deck, but it looks like I will do 100 damage again with Ditto, because I will have one more United Wings Pokemon in the discard pile, but I'll play DTE that negates that so that they balance each other out. So 100 damage. And so even with a boss, I would not knock out the Chen PAL. So they did 60, which is what they needed, so smart play there. So they have a lot of energy in play, so that's not good. And they have Radiant Greninja powered up also. All right, I will Kirlia away the Wattrel. If I hit boss, then I could... Well, that's not bad. What do we have? Anything here? I want to go... I really like all these cards, don't I? I'm going to try to get the engine piece. That might be a mistake. I see myself as in trouble here, I gotta say. I could... I don't know. I'm going to keep the Wattrel, the Wattrel to get rid of with Kirlia. I need to find the attack. I can use... I guess it listed the 120 damage multiple times. So, so I've got 1, 2, 3. So there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks potentially it has to select from. Right, I didn't have the dark energy, so but it still shows that United Wings option, but then it shows it not in gray. Now the fact that that it's highlighted by being grayed out usually means not an option. So it's a games in color. It should be yellow or something. It should be different or green or something. Right? They like these nice clear red greens. As I look at these red and green arrows, what you can do and can't, up and down. Probably should show. Make it clearer with like red and green marks what attacks you can choose and not choose, because they're just trying to make it easy for people. That's the which I think is a good goal on Pokemon's part, trying to make things simple to understand. So this game is not going well for me. My opponent obviously set up tremendously. I'll probably just concede after this. I can't see this game going well. So I have the Flamigo. They didn't knock me out, though, so that part is nice. So I'll get rid of the Wattrel, increase my damage slightly. Gallade is nice, too. So he's doing 140. I like this. So this isn't bad. So what do I want to do? I do want to get a supporter into hand. I think I'll research, right? I'll just research this turn. Get a bunch of new cards. Attach the DTE first. I have knockout, so it's not bad. I mean, the fact... I don't know why they chose not to knock me out. That didn't entirely make sense to me. Okay. I will sit on the Wattrel at this point. Don't want to collapse Stadium because they'll get rid of the damaged Chen PAL, and I want to take that out, right? So there we go. Not a I'm not sure why they didn't take a prize last turn. I don't know if they just made a mistake. I mean, it's not like they don't have a lot of energies in play. They easily could have tossed away an energy, right? So I want, at this point, so they're gusting up. Okay, Manaphy. So I need to, but I can, let's see, did I lose my, no, okay, I knew I Pal Pad, I researched away a bunch of supporters, including Pal Pad, but I don't have Thorton, but which Thorton could have worked for Manaphy also, but I do have Klara, right? Should be in deck. I believe I didn't, so I will search for that. because I want Manaphy back. For sure. And I'll send up the Flamigo because that's a better attacker, because in that when it gets knocked out, I can do more damage the following turn. So what's the damage output? I'm doing 140. Let's take a look here. So let me... see. So playing the Gallade maybe was a mistake. My other Kirlia is prized, so I'm going to have to wait on that. All right, so I have a boss and I have a Serena. So that's not bad. I want Manaphy in play, though. That's what my play is here. I'm not going to get to discard a card Pokemon. That's the part I don't like, but I really want Manaphy to get back down into play. Let's see. Is Raihan in prize? Is prize? Let's see. Raihan's prize. Okay, so the energy in the discard doesn't help me, so want to get that basic energy into my hand. And then I just think Klara, rather than going into deck, goes into hand. So for a turn like this, it is a big plus. So I think I just attack, right, at this point. Just attack. I'm not taking a prize, which isn't great. I have 2 Pokemon now that I can finish off with a second hit. The Chen Pao and the Suicune. So they drew their card. They'll knock me out. I'll take them down with the Ditto. They're going to retreat, but that's okay. I have 1 boss in deck, I believe. So, okay. Ooh, can I take down... What's my damage output? I actually, that... Okay, all right, I one-shot the Baxcalibur, which I kind of like, right? I do kind of like that. All right, I'll play... At this point, they don't ditch a card, so they can't play it. Takes away their option for a bench play. I think I want to take... oh, wait, what do they have? They have... Oh, the one's a Suicune. So I think I want to... Alright, so I want a Serena this turn. I have boss for next turn, right? So you're doing... So Suicune, you're doing 160. So I will Serena... bring you up, because I need 2 knockouts to win the game. So I think I want to play down Wattrel and attach energy. And, yeah, just take... See, I have 2... Yeah, it's a little weird. I have multiple options for United Wings. I guess one is from the Wattrel, one is from the Murkrow. Obviously, they're identical attacks. It's a little weird the way Pokemon does that, but I guess it's not a problem, right? I don't think it matters. It's a little odd. I don't think I'm not sure how PTCGO did it. Obviously, potentially copying the attack of one versus the other could matter. So at this point, they'd have to boss stall me. If they knock out Gallade, I don't have game this next turn, right? Because without Gallade, I don't have access to boss, but I'm okay. So they can't play Lumineon. I mean, they got Lumineon anyway, so getting back a bunch of energy, so they're just going to blow me away there. And I think I have successfully navigated this game. I didn't like the start of it. I was very concerned, but I'm not sure when my opponent skipped that one knockout. Obviously, it helped me there if they put some of the prize behind, and it meant I didn't have to use my resources as aggressively also. So I'm doing the 160 damage, which is quite nice. His HP is 120. So I have boss in deck. And I have game. So this has gone quite nicely for me, right? Quite nicely. All right, well done. So United Wings is, you know, got through this game successfully. Trying to remember the plays, how, you know, what do you do to navigate the deck, trying to get back my brain cell, my rhythm from playing Mad Party. This is a little different. The engine's a little, you know, it's not like a, it just functions a little differently than before, but very similarly, right? United Wings is much like Mad Party. Squawkabilly EX is like the Dene GX. We have Manaphy, we used to play Mew, similar things. We have to play double turbo before we play the Twin Energy, which gave us 20 more damage. That's unfortunate. And so the numbers are pretty good with the deck. You can get to, you're not one-shotting many multi-price Pokemon. Potentially, you can one-shot a basic V or a basic EX, because they're going to be like 220 a lot of the times. But you need to get almost all of United Wings Pokemon in the deck, right? We have 3 different ones, so that means we have 12. So we can do 240 with a Ditto. That's if you get all United Wings in the discard pile, and that's not always easy to do. Some may be prized. It takes time to get there. So you're doing, so getting to 220 is doable, which does take out a single prize V most of the time, or EX. So, but usually you're taking multiple attacks on multi-price Pokemon in most matchups. And then the one thing you don't want to see is Ting-Lu, that which I've run into an awful lot lately, and I'm going to start trying that out myself soon. Ting-Lu, you lose your abilities. That means Ditto can't attack. That's bad news. It means obviously your engine shuts down in Kirlia, and you just have a lot of trouble with that. But a fun deck, you know, recommend trying it out. You know, you're a fan of Mad Party, you might have tried it out already, but give it a try again. In fact, it's seeing some competitive play. A number of players brought it to the NAIC this year, the North American International Championship, and I believe it was piloted to a top 64 finish by one of the players, and I think multiple players made day 2 with it, so a good level of success. It's got its weaknesses, but it's a fun deck to play, and you certainly can win with it. Take care.